Hello and welcome to the Random Things Mod Spotlight. What we found here is a natural world spawning from Random Things, and you'll see that animals are being spawned, and also there's going to be a lot of crop growth around this area, and this is what is called a nature core. And if we look inside the nature core, you can see that is the actual block itself, the nature core, and we can place this anywhere in the world and it will do exactly the same thing. It will create the 3x3 around it, and it will increase crop growth, plant saplings within a large area around it. Here I have a wooden sword with mending on it, and you can see it's almost completely destroyed. One of the crops you'll find are going to be lotuses, and when you eat lotuses you'll see they give you XP. But a key function of the lotus blossoms, if you have a mending tool in your offhand and then you eat the lotus blossom, instantly restore it to full durability. So one item you'll find in chests is going to be the slime cube. So it's a useful item to find in chests and is made normally with a nether star. I'm currently level Y equals 44 in the world, so no slimes are spawning even though I'm playing in normal mode. But if I plant down the slime cube, it's going to be able to spawn slimes in that chunk, and you can see by the particle effects. So now when I drink this potion of regeneration, you can see I'm going to get particle effects. But by wearing the magic hood, which you'll find in dungeon chests again, you can see the particle effects are removed. The other crop you'll find in the world will be the bean. So you can eat the bean, or you can make it into bean stew with some wheat and a bowl. Another option is to turn it into the lesser magic bean with some gold nuggets. The lesser magic bean can be planted down into the ground, and it will grow up until it hits a block that it can't go past. However, there is a stronger form of the bean, which is this, the magic bean. Here we actually got very lucky. We've got 2 magic beans in the chest. This is going to grow all the way up to world height, and it will also have a bean pod at the top. So we'll plant down the magic bean. For both the vines we can climb up, and you can see the pace of climbing is very, very quick indeed. Even faster than creative mode flying. And we break the bean pod. And you can see we get a number of items here. We're going to get some diamonds, emeralds, more beans, get a golden egg, iron and gold. Now the golden egg, when we're thrown, you can see we're going to get a chicken with a golden wattle. And this chicken, rather than laying eggs, is actually going to lay gold. So another plant you'll find in the world is the pitcher plant. So if we right click on it with a water bucket, you can see we're going to get a bucket of water. If we right click on it with a portable tank, we're going to get, and again, a bucket of water. The other interesting thing this can do is that the pitcher plant has got auto extract on all sides. So it will actually be able to output directly into this tank. So over time, this tank will fill up and become completely full. Here we have the fluid display. So if we right click with a tank, we'll actually be able to change the liquid into it whatever we want. Similarly, we can place down multiple fluid displays, and we can create an unusual pattern that perhaps we wouldn't be able to do otherwise. You can see also with the lava that we have a still block and then we have a flowing down block here, depending on the placement. You'll notice that with the slime cubes that we placed down earlier in the video, you can see there's some slimes moving around, even though, like I said, we're at a higher Y level. And you can see in general the effect of the nature core, growing a lot more plants. There's obviously a lot more animals in comparison with what else is going on in the world here. If we take a grass block, you can see we can make some grass seeds out of it. We can combine the grass seeds with any dye to get, for instance, yellow grass seeds, and we place this on dirt, and then it will be able to spread around. It won't be able to overwrite normal grass though. Okay, so now we have time in a bottle. So a furnace will normally cook about this speed. If we use time in a bottle, you see it's already done. So all you have to do is have this in your inventory, and it will gradually accrue time, and then you can use it to speed up tile entities. We also have this, the Eclipse clock, made with an evil tear, needing wither skeleton skull and a ghast tear and an ender pearl. So we can place this here. When we right click on it with an empty hand, we can choose which time we want to set it to. So for instance, if we wanted to make it night time, we could say 10:48, and then we click on it with a time in a bottle. It would say it needs 8 minutes. We currently have 19 minutes. And you can see it becomes nighttime. Okay, let's move on to some more items. So we can also craft this, which is called Luminous Powder. So we need glowstone, glass, and a glowing mushroom. And what we can do is if we take our enchanted item, we can put Luminous Powder on. It will give us a luminous effect, and it will then glow in the dark. Now the glowing mushroom We can use that, for instance, say we wanted to replace glowstone and get a regeneration 2 potion. All we'd have to do, can't really see the text yet, but this is the glowing mushroom, and that will replace glowstone in any brewing stand recipe. Here we have the Imbuing Station. So the Imbuing Station's got several different recipes. We can make Fire Imbue, Experience Imbue, and Wither Imbue. So these are effects that last 20 minutes long, and they will inflict poison to your enemies for 20 minutes, fire resistance for 20 minutes, or experience, which will double the XP you get from killing mobs. Here we have the chunk analyzer, so we'll scan the chunk, and as you can see, we've got 116 because we have a 6x6x6 hollow diamond section here. This lapis lamp will emit a light level of 15, but it's not actually going to prevent any mob spawns. If we close this area off now, you can see we've got a potion vaporizer in here. I put that regeneration 2 potion in, and all this is like a furnace. In any enclosed space, it can be pretty large. It will actually create a lingering potion effect throughout the whole room. So let's just take a look and see what that might look like. So you can see throughout this whole room there is a potion effect, and you can see it's draining here, and it drained. This shows you how much you've got left, and we've got another one going now, and we've got some feeding in from this hopper here. So here we have Diaphanous Blocks. So I have here 2 cubes, 5x5x5. This is completely filled, and this is a hollow one. So you can see with the completely filled one, it goes completely invisible as we move around. And with the hollow one, it actually has a very interesting effect. That if we go in this is obviously like a mathematical thing, but with the hollow one, you can see we've got almost like this inverted cube shape. And the actual cube shape, if you just get the right distance from it, if I can just show this properly, you can see the cube, you can see the various walls, the sides of the cube changing, and it becomes, you can only ever see 3 faces of it, right? If you get in the exactly right position when you rotate through 90 degrees there. Another thing you'll find in Dungeon Loot is a summoning pendulum. So this lets you take up to 5 entities. So now if I right click on the ground, replace the cow. Next we have the runic dust. So this can be made in any colour and uses some luminous powder to do so. All we could do is we can make a runic shape on the ground. So for instance, we could use any different colours we want. So say we just wanted to do a shape like that. We right click with paper, it's going to create a rune pattern. Shows you how many runic dusts you've used. So you can see we went from each side of the block. So this is 4x4. So it gives you I guess 16 chances. But once you do that, you can simply create patterns. So that would be one way to get an interesting pattern there. You can also make this fertilized dirt. And this actually might work really nicely around the nature core. By the way, if you look at the grass here, it's completely changed. So that works pretty effectively. But we should be able to get very, very fast spawn rates. So the good thing about the fertilized dirt, it doesn't need any water to grow. So we can literally just place our lotus seeds down. So we've got the fertilized dirt is going to increase the growth speed, and also the nature core is going to increase the growth speed. Now the problem is it's not actually working at the moment, and that's because the nature core cannot be obstructed in the sky. You'll notice the particle effects again, and we can already start to see in about 10 seconds the amount of growth. So this is going to grow really fast. We also have the position filter. So this is quite a simple item. You just have to right click on the ground. It will show you exactly where a position or a block, if you found something interesting in the world, and you can just change it very easily. Some fire related items now. So a blazing steel will have a large amount of fire spread. Let's do it in a place which can't cause too much damage. So you can see the speed of this fire spread is much higher than usual. So you can see if you wanted to burn down a tree very quickly and effectively, blazing steel would be a good option. We also have this block, the igniter. So we could do keep ignited. So this will constantly be ignited even if something makes it go out. Now we've got trigger glass here, so if we're going to power the trigger glass, you can see for 3 seconds it will go off. It will allow entities to pass. Okay, here I placed down a Spectre energy injector, and this is a form of wireless power. So you can see we've got the coal going into here. So the spectral energy injector itself has got a buffer. And what we can do is say we wanted to place it into an energy cell over here. We could take, say, this ender spectre coil. So this is a pretty high tier one. Needs a stable ender pearl. And you can see we can go through the various different tiers here. All I have to do is just place it on the side here. And instantly it will begin to accrue power. If we look at the different types of coil, there are some which are found in dungeon chests. So these numbered spectre coils, they'll actually generate power on their own. We also have a few different weather eggs. So these can be made like so. So if we wanted to have any kind of weather, we would throw the egg. So we can see that the egg shoots into the air, creates the weather. Let's try it with the sun one now. We'll just do it right in front of us this time. This, I believe, was a similar animation to the Open Blocks one. So you can see it shoots into the air. And we have sun. And you can imagine it's the same for the rain. Another piece of dungeon loot you might find is this, the lava charm. You notice as soon as it went in my inventory, that's 10 seconds of lava immunity damage. You'll notice though that if I went in the lava now though, even if I had it equipped in my bauble slot, I would still take fire damage, because when you go in lava you take lava and fire damage. So to alleviate that you need to get an obsidian skull, and then you could turn that into a ring as well with a fire charge and the anvil, and you can place that in your second ring slot there. So this is a good way to get both lava and obsidian. So you can see we've currently got no armor on. Let's go in the lava. And you can see no damage. You do take, I think you take like 1 tick of damage every second or so. You see it lasts about 10 seconds, but that's significantly less damage than you're going to be taking otherwise. And you'll also, if you're just wearing the lava charm, you'll be taking that fire damage. So it's best to have both the lava charm and the obsidian skull ring on. Another thing you could do is if you didn't want to use up your second bauble slot there, you could wear the obsidian water walking boots. So there's a normal one which is water walking, but you can combine it again. This will let you negate fire damage, and you also can have the ability to walk on water. So you'll notice now is exactly the same as it was before, but this time we have only the lava charm in there. Okay, here we have the sound recorder. So what we can do is we can place a sound pattern in there, and we're going to shift right click and it starts recording. And then we can shift right click and it will stop recording. And you can see we had block grass step and block entity player splash. So we can choose that. We can choose to get entity player splash. Now we can take the sound box and we can place the entity player splash in there. And now when we press the button, we'll be able to play the sound. I mentioned the stable ender pearl recently as well. So if we right click it, you can see it's bound. Then all I have to do is I just drop it over here. We can go to a different location, and after 7 seconds, I'm back at the original location. There is actually one final upgrade to the obsidian water walking boots. So if you combine these with the lava charm, you can get the lava waders. So that means you don't need any baubles. You can just put this in here. The other interesting thing is it doesn't actually show the bar above your hearts there either when it's just in your inventory, the lava waders. And from here we can walk on water, lava. We've got the effects of the obsidian skull ring and the lava charm. So best of both worlds. Okay, a couple of things to finish off the video that you can only really do in the overworld. So we have here the Biome Radar. This is another thing you might find, the biome crystals here. What you have to do is you have to create a structure like so. So finally just the antenna on top of the sides. Then what we can do is we can place our biome crystal into the Biome Radar and apply a redstone signal. You can see this will show you that the Biome Radar is activated. And once the Biome Radar is finished, the 5th column will glow as well, and that will mean that it's ready to get the position. So we can just right click on the radar and it will change into, with a piece of paper, and it will change into position filter, which will show us the location of the biome. Here we have a copper divining rod. We can find the divining rod for a range of different metals, and you can see within about 11 by 11 area, you'll be able to see where that ore is located. Here we have the chat detector. I put in the word random, and you can see I've got a piece of redstone there. If I type in the word random, it's going to pulse on for a few seconds.